Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm coming back at you with some bonus slop content. Just breaking news, real quick. Not necessarily breaking, but it's been going on throughout the day. I just realized it right now when Cosmo told me in the comment section. Shout out to you, by the way, Cosmo. Can we go over this real quick? Because apparently Vlad and Booker T, they are going back and forth right now, back and forth. And apparently Vlad has led some very, very serious allegations against Booker T that we're going to contextualize. I got all the links down in the description box below in chronological order. So let's take it from the top. And I went out of my way to post this on my community post. So let's read that real quick first. Vlad says, because this is after, just to set this up real quick, the premise. Booker T and his whole little discourse with Swerve Strickland 2 days ago essentially said about, Swerve Strickland that he should have never done Vlad TV because Vlad is police, right? And he was busy trying to separate two black men or pit them up against each other. Vlad took offense to that, right? Because one of the things Booker T said was he turned down Vlad's interview to show up on his show or whatever, right? So Vlad, he tweeted this out. He said, 100% lying. You happily agreed to do the interview and even showed up to the studio. Here's our initial DMs again. I ran late and you stormed out. I tried to reschedule and you were in your feelings. Making a video saying you turned down Vlad TV because I get people locked up, but forgetting to mention that you actually showed up to a Vlad TV interview is ridiculous. And this is the same thing that I posted on my community post, but just to reiterate, just in case some of you guys didn't see it, it started off like this. It was July 8th of 2020. Vlad, I guess, went into Booker's DMs, I'm assuming. He said, interested in interviewing you for Vlad TV. We recently did one with Mark Henry. Booker T responds with, hey, what's up, bro? I'm definitely interested. What all would you want to cover? I'm based in Houston, so we would do it over Zoom or something. Mind you, this is during the COVID period also, just for more context. Vlad responds with, interested in covering your career like I do in most of my interviews. We have a cameraman in Houston, so we can do it remotely that way. We can go to your location or book a studio. Booker responds with, yeah, if he'd want to meet me at my studio where I do my show, we can do it that way. When would you do, wait, what? When would you want to do it? I'm normally free on Thursdays. Vlad responds with, send contact info and my assistant will coordinate. And then Booker T responds with, my email is whatever, and send it to my assistant Brad as well. His email is whatever. He'll help arrange it. Vlad says, I got it. Booker says, thanks, bro. Really looking forward to it. And then Vlad says, me too. So my initial speculation when looking at that was, oh, Booker T got caught on 4K. I still got the community post up. I'm not going to take it down. It is what it is. All you guys are speculating, saying, oh, we want to know more context about this because for all we know, it could be a bunch of bullshit. And you guys were right. It didn't matter to me because all I cared about was Booker T's message in the end of the day. But I did think, oh, Booker T got caught in 4K lying about something that didn't need to be lied about. But you guys were like, oh, wait, chill, Devontae, chill. There's probably more context to this. And Booker brought some receipts himself, right? So Booker T responded a little bit later on with his own DMs, right? He showed these DMs. This is now September 9th of 2020, obviously after July, 2 months later. He says, this is DJVlad responding to Booker T. Let me know if you still want to do the interview. We've hit your guy a few times but haven't gotten a response. And then he responds back like almost 2 weeks later saying, let's do a call. I want to make this right. Then he responds now in January of 2021. This is around the time now. Keep this in context. This is around the time when Booker T's song with that Bunny guy, Bad Bunny, when his song Booker T blew up, right? So Vlad says, let's do the interview. Perfect time with that song blowing up. And then he keeps hitting him up that same day, January 7th of 2021. Let's do the interview. Well, he said that already. And then Booker T responds with the next day, thanks, but no thanks. So this is the context now. He responds the next day after January 7th, thanks, but no thanks. DJ Vlad responds back with, okay, fam, I'm disappointed, but I was late for the interview, so I understand. Congrats on the massive success of the new song. I'm still a fan. Take care. And then he comes back the next day. Now he's pretty much badgering him at this point. He says, what if we pay you an appearance fee? So you wasn't going to pay him an appearance fee to begin with? Whatever. My point being is, though, this is the actual context, right? Booker T is letting them know, hey, I don't want to be fucked up with you. Maybe he felt disrespected by Vlad's professionalism. I'm not saying Vlad is unprofessional himself, but Booker T could have probably took it that way when he initially agreed to the interview, but he did deny it. He did. He accepted it the first time. And, Booker probably could have said that just to add more context to this without, leaving that part out does seem a little bit sus. But he did turn it down, though. He did, right? So when Booker T posted those receipts, this is when Vlad actually clapped back at him, right? So this is another tweet from Vlad. Hang on, highlighting it right now. He says, mind you, he's not even responding anymore to what Booker T said initially, right? He said when Booker T isn't making up lies about refusing to do Vlad TV interviews, he's hanging out with his registered sex offender friend, Chasyn Rance. Chasyn was convicted of lewd and lascivious. Oh, holy fuck. I'm going to butcher this word. Lascivious sexual battery with a victim who was 12 to 15 years old at the time. So this is news to me because I'm like, Booker T's hanging out with a sex offender? That's not Booker T's character. And I know, Vlad is just doing this to kind of deflect from the conversation because, Booker T posted the rest of the receipts and no, Vlad, he totally turned down your interview. Now, again, they're both sort of kind of in the right, but Booker T's way more in the right because Vlad, he is right in the sense that Booker T did prepare for the interview. So it's not like he turned it down all the way, but Booker T did later on turn it down for whatever reason. I don't know. Did he turn it down because of, Vlad's unprofessionalism as far as how he contextualized it? Did he turn it down after he maybe didn't know who Vlad was? Got a little bit of a sense of who Vlad was later on? Did he turn him down because he kind of felt like, oh, now all of a sudden you're trying to blow me up, now you're trying to blow me up more after the whole blow up song with Bad Bunny? Yes, I remember the September ones, obviously, as far as the texts are considered. But at that point, Booker T already was probably focused on some other project. And then here you are trying to blow him up again. Or hell, who knows? Maybe Vlad caught wind of the fact that Bad Bunny did a song with Booker T in September. Who knows how far back this goes? I don't know. But what I do know is that Booker T, when it was all said and done, turned him down. And for Vlad to go now throwing up this situation, now we got to do a little bit more searching because I want to know to the extent of this Chasyn Rance guy, right? So this is Chasyn Rance. And by the way, coincidentally enough, he was arrested today. Pro wrestler Chasyn Rance was arrested on April 2nd today of 2025 for violating his sex offender registration terms. According to a recent user spotting the news on social media, Rance was recently booked into the Orange County Jail after reportedly failing to report a change in vehicle ownership, failing to report an internet ID or app name twice, and providing false registration info 3 different times. Prior to his arrest, Chasyn Rance was registered with the Florida Sex Offender Registry for over a decade, dating back to 2014. Rance's initial incident that landed him on the registry stems from a 2011 incident, which led to him being convicted for lewd and lascivious battery of a victim between the ages of 12 to 15. It's unclear exactly what the fallout from Rance's violations will lead to, but he is currently booked in jail. Rance previously wrestled in a variety of organizations, including AWA, Superstars of Wrestling, Atomic Wrestling Entertainment, IWA Puerto Rico, and Southern Championship Wrestling. Despite not appearing in the ring for some time, Rance still remains involved in the world of wrestling and trains at Team Vision Dojo. So there's a bunch of things that we got to take into consideration. Not that I'm covering for the scumbag, but I don't know the extent because lewd and lascivious acts can mean a bunch of things. Did he pull his penis out around a minor or some shit like that? I don't know to what degree his act is. It's still a horrible crime and he's still a piece of shit regardless. But I would like to know the context because I'm pretty sure 2 things. One, from what it looks like, he never really wrestled for Reality of Wrestling. So, for all I know, Booker T didn't have to do a background search on the guy. That's one thing. And 2, now that we know that from what it looks like, he didn't have to wrestle for Reality of Wrestling. At least it doesn't say it here. Maybe he did, but it doesn't show it. They show all these other random fucking wrestling promotions I've never heard of before. And I don't see Booker T's school there. So, just going off of this right here, from what it looks like, he never wrestled for Booker T. meaning Booker didn't have to do a background check on him, meaning he probably didn't know the history of what Chasyn Rance did. Like, he just probably hid it from him, and Booker didn't know. It's not really that deceitful. Like, I was gonna say, like, maybe he wrestled for Booker T's school, or he helped out Booker T in some way, and that could be a suggestion, because it's like Booker could have did his due diligence, and he should have did a background search on the guy before actually letting him wrestle for him or whatever. But now that I know he didn't wrestle for him, for all I know, Chase just didn't tell him. He didn't tell him his history. And Booker hung out with him, not knowing anything in regards to the guy's history. And then Buddy gets arrested. Because then Booker T, he responds with shucky ducky quack quack. Pretty much just mocking Vlad. Because, again, you fucked up in regards to... Because two things. I'm talking about Booker T could have, gave some context as far as what he talked about with Vlad. Vlad just posted those receipts. He didn't post the other receipts, the 2021 stuff. He didn't post that. So that goes both ways too. I'm not saying Booker T should have, laid out some context as far as the Vlad stuff goes. Vlad could have done the same thing and posted some receipts later on down the line. And then Booker T post the rest of those receipts. And now it's like, okay, so that goes both ways to Vlad. And then when Vlad can't respond to pretty much, I'm not going to say harassing. I think that's too much of a strong word. But for sure, kind of like, blowing them up and stuff like that. And then Booker's clearly ignoring everything that you throw at him. And you essentially saying that you're not going to pay him because now he's blowing up because of the Bad Bunny shit. Like, it comes off like you're trying to use him for publicity. You're trying to capitalize on his publicity, Vlad. You do understand this, right? Like, everything that you're saying as far as, Booker T lying about it, again, I feel like Booker T could have laid out that context a lot better, but all Booker said was that he turned you down. And that's what he did. He turned you down. He said not interested. And the fact that you didn't post the rest of those receipts of Booker actively turning you down just kind of seems like you're painting on a narrative to pretty much lay something on Booker T that was true. Again, just to reiterate one more time, Booker should have gave more context to that, because it would have been nice knowing that, hey, I did sit down and we were negotiating something as far as an appearance. But really, I guess, technically speaking, all Booker said in that video was, I turned Vlad down. And, well, he turned you down. And when the time came for you to pretty much rebut those accusations that you left out, you instead went out of your way to defame Booker. You linked him up to a pedophile from what it looks like. And again, I don't even know the extent of this lewd charge to know what really went down with Chase as far as these minors are considered. Again, bad regardless, but I would like to know the extent of what actually happened for more context. And then again, I look at this, he didn't wrestle for Booker T from what it looks like, at least initially. So Booker has no reason to do a background search, meaning Chase most likely hid this from Booker. Meaning Booker had no knowledge, most likely, of Chase's history. So you're linking him to something that he probably wasn't aware of in order to deflect from the conversation in regards to him turning you down. And then the rest of the receipts show you hounding him to get an appearance after you found out that he blew up with the Bad Bunny stuff. And now you're trying to pay him for the Bad Bunny appearance as far as capitalizing on him being in that video and the song and everything when you weren't going to do it initially. Like, you do see, I don't understand why did Vlad post all this. This looks terrible on his part. Like, this looks horrible on his part. And all it really did was prove Booker. Again, the only negative I can say about Booker is that it would have been nice to see that you did initially sit down and you negotiated with him. That would have been nice. But again, necessarily he didn't have to do that, because all he did was say that he turned down Vlad TV. That's all he said. I turned him down. And he did turn you down. So, just in case you guys are curious as to what the fuck is going on here, that's the full context right there. Vlad, he didn't necessarily lie, just like Booker didn't necessarily lie, but I feel like he was very deceptive, just like Booker. But again, it's hard to call Booker deceptive when that wasn't his initial point. His point was just simply I turned him down. Vlad initially was actually not even initially. Vlad was outright deceptive by leading out the rest of those posts of Booker legitimately turning you down. So that's the whole situation and that's the entire context. And if he brings up the Chase stuff again, one more time reiterating this, there's no reality of wrestling listed in this article. Maybe it was and they just forgot to mention it. I mean, I find that very hard to believe that you're going to name Atomic Wrestling Entertainment, but not reality of wrestling. You know what I mean? That seems kind of weird. So Booker wasn't aware. Yet you conflated him with a pedophile, of which I'm not even sure if he is a pedophile to that degree to give him that type of, clarity, because we have no clarity. Okay, there you go right there. You decide who's the piece of shit, but that right there is the entire context. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm taking my black ass to bed after I'm done uploading this. As always, deuces, P, ice.